William Galbraith Rollo Stuart Bruce, greatest author of my generation, GAOMG. I know where I'm going with all of my Y-DNA, that I'm directly descended from Robert the Bruce. I'm just waiting for Alasdair MacDonald at the University of Strathclyde to validate my lineage. I already share my Y-DNA with William Stuart of Fennock, who's a legitimate grandson of Robert II, who is a legitimate grandson of Robert the Bruce. So I'm just waiting, for him, whatever the reason is, that's, he's working on, for him to validate it. So if you can email him and tell him to validate my lineage, I share the Y-DNA, lineage that they have on their website with William Stuart of Fennock. So that is a done deal, and as soon as I'm validated, it validates my lineage, it validates, all of my trilogies that I've been working on for over 20 years, and I can publish my second trilogy that, connects with my first one and everything. That's amazing, and I'm finding out more and more, about myself, definitely with my Y-DNA, when I found Tom Larsson Brus, a confirmed Robert the Bruce, the Brus line descendants, to all of his sons. They go from Brus to Bruce, and you can see the name change, which is really cool. And we share all the same Y-DNA from our whole Normandy Brus line, and that took me right to Rollo. So Rollo, and I'm learning all about, I know about the claymore, obviously. That's one of the greatest swords I've ever seen or known of. When I was growing up, the two swords that always stood out was like, the claymore from Braveheart and everything, and then the katanas. Katanas I've seen in all of my, animes, all types of movies and everything. And it's both of them, the fact that they're both coming in with two hands and no shield. You see the katana coming in, or the giant claymore. And the claymore is just the sickest sword ever, dude. It feels like, like just an insane weapon. Just, you could kill like anything with this thing. And both of them are just really amazing with how they look and everything. But when I looked at the katana, and you can see the videos and everything online, that blade can actually break. And the steel technology they had with the claymores is that steel won't break. These things won't break, dude. And then to find out, I'm descended from Rollo, and then his sword, his is that Ulfbert, the Ulfbert swords. They're like made out of crucible steel and all this type of stuff. So I'm learning about all these new swords, and I said I wasn't gonna be a sword guy, but Rollo, I have to get the Ulfbert sword. Rollo had that for sure. It's an unreal steel. They're still sharp to this day, thousands of years later. Both of them, the technology, for the claymore and for the Ulfbert Viking sword is unreal. So I watch a lot of like YouTube videos now, and there's like sword dudes, and this one dude seems like such a nice dude, and he's looking at his comments, and they're like real mean, and a lot of like robots and stuff. And if you're a creator and everything like that, you're gonna create. You're gonna do what you have to do. The people that leave comments, like, what? Those are just like little trolls, and most of them are just like robots and bullshit like that, So any creator that's on YouTube or something, keep creating, man. Don't let, idiots. They're just trolling. They're not creating anything. They're just going through, looking at whatever they want, and attacking you or whatever. That's like idiotic, dude. Don't waste your time with those idiots, dude. Don't engage with those people. I don't engage. I know where I'm headed. I write my books. I don't ask people about my. I know my stories. I know where I'm headed, and everybody can support me, certainly. But anybody that's negative, dude, get the fuck out of here. I've called out people at every gym, for anybody online, anybody on the radio, anywhere. CMC Pro Boxing, Rhino Fight Team on the Jersey Shore. Barcelona MMA, anywhere in the world, I would fight anybody that said anything. Nobody shows up. Nobody comes. Online's just bullshit, dude. I can't believe people listen to any of that bullshit. It's all bullshit online. Any of the chatter that goes on. So anyway, I hope the sword dude keep making content and everything like that, because that's what like you're good at. Like I have to learn about the Ulfbert sword and stuff, dude. Rollo was fucking taking heads off with that. You know, that's my ancestor right there. So I have to go get that sword and I have to know more about it. So all the sword people, keep doing your cool sword stuff or whatever you like to do. And there was a girl, she was like a wee Scottish lass or something on YouTube. And I can't understand, the Scots have this thick accent, you know? I'm doing the best to learn who I am and everything and the Claymore, but their accents, it's real hard for me to understand, you know, when Scottish people talk. And so she was putting all these things on YouTube and like, it was real cool helping somebody like me, you know, a novice coming into Scotland with my Y-DNA lineage now, you know, is a big deal. So I'm trying to learn everything I can. But people are so negative and mean to her, and it got to her, and now like she doesn't post anymore. And yeah, I've been doing this for over 20 years, you know, on YouTube. Dude, everybody, you've probably seen one of my clips one way or another, you know. But just keep creating, you know. Don't let, like, idiots, dude, they're not creating, they're sitting on their computer trolling. Like, who has time? Who is an artist that's gonna do that? None. Nobody is. We're gonna create and make art, you know, write books, write trilogies that connect, find out they're descended from Robert the Bruce, make Alasdair MacDonald validate my lineage on the University of Strathclyde's website, you know, publish your second trilogy that connects, and then come to Scotland, and that is gonna be a big, big moment. So anyway, like anybody that's on YouTube, keep creating, keep doing your stuff. Don't let anything in comments or anything like that, doesn't matter, dude. They're not real artists. They're not going to create anything. They're not worth any of your time, dude. Just keep focused and do like what you love to do, you know, what you're all about. So anyway, hope that helps. I've got to learn more about the Ulfbert, you know, swords now and how to say it right. And, you know, the language too, you know, to be able to speak like Scottish. And I see Isle of Man, and I see like, you know, my Bruce royalty like around there too. And they have Manx, they have their own language, and like, like that's what I like also about like Japan, the katana, and they use their language. Their same language hasn't changed like that much. So the languages too that the Scots have, keep using that language. In the Isle of Man, Manx, that your language is so important. It's so important. Like, I mean, these swords are that tell stories. You know, the tartans that tell stories. Your language, and Cornwall too. They have Cornish, and Cornwall is a big deal too in my lineage. You know, and they had the tin mines and stuff that they would use. The Romans would use to make like armor and swords out of bronze and stuff. So anyway, everybody keep doing what you're doing. I mean, I know where I'm going, and it took all of 20 years, you know, plus to get to this point. So we'll see where it goes from here. But everybody else, keep creating, man. We want your human, real creations, not AI. So cheers.